Today I'm going to show you how to install the Ionic 4-inch curved black Nerf bar on this 2019 new body style Ram 1500. Let's go ahead and get started. So now we're underneath our truck on our driver's side. Now we have our truck up on a lift. You certainly don't need a lift to do this installation. We just want to make sure that you can see everything that we're doing clearly. But again, we're on our driver's side, right underneath our driver's side door. We are closest to our front tire, and you're going to see a set of 3 studs. Now, if these studs are painted, you're going to need to clean those off. I would recommend using a die out of a tap and die set. It's going to be an M8 by 1.25. What you're going to do is just thread that on until all this paint is cleared off. You're going to do that on all your studs, and then you want to take one of your nuts and make sure that it threads on nice and easy, just like that, on each stud before you put your brackets on. Once you have that done, you're going to grab one of your brackets. Now you're going to have 6 in your kit, 3 for the passenger and 3 for the driver's side. They're all going to be the same, so don't worry about which one you grab, just grab one of those. The plate that has the 5 elongated holes on it is going to be what attaches to our truck here. And then we're just going to fit that right over our studs. On our front mounting location, you're going to see the 2 bottom studs are going to line up with the holes at the bottom. The top stud is going to be in our far left hole at the top here. When we get that on, we're going to use a washer on each stud. And then we're going to use a locking nut as well. We're just going to leave those loose for right now. Now we're going to move down our frame and we're going to come to our middle set of studs. We're going to take another mounting bracket, fit that over our studs. You'll notice this time that the top stud is going to line up to the middle hole. And then again, we're going to use a flat washer on each of our studs. And then we're going to also use our locking nuts. And again, we're just going to leave those loose for right now. Now we're going to move along our frame again, this time to our last set of studs. We're going to grab a mounting bracket, fit that over the top. Again, you'll notice that the top stud is back on the furthest left hole. And then we're going to use our flat washers, again, over each stud. And then our locking nuts. And again, we're just going to leave that loose for right now, and then we're going to put our board onto our brackets. So now we're going to take our driver's side running board. Now if we flip it to the back, you're going to see there's some threaded inserts here. That's going to line up with the holes in the brackets. And also if we flip it back over to the top, you'll notice that in between the edge of our step pad and the edge of the board, there's going to be a shorter distance at the front than there is at the back. That's how you know you have the right board. So again, we're just going to set this in place, line up our holes, and then we're going to use our provided hardware and go up through the bracket and into our board. Now with our holes in our bracket lined up with our threads in our board, we're going to take a provided bolt with a lock washer and a flat washer and go through our bracket into our board. I'm just going to snug that up. I'm not going to fully tighten that down just yet. I want to make sure I get all of these bolts in place on all of our boards before we tighten anything down. Now we're at our center bracket, and we're going to again use our provided hardware and thread that in place. Now we'll move to the back bracket. Now we can go back through and tighten down the board to our brackets. Now we're going to use a 13mm to tighten these down. And I'm starting at my rearmost bracket. Doesn't really matter which one you start at. I was just here, so that's the one I'm starting with. Now on these you don't want to go too tight. You just want to make sure they're nice and snug. You don't want to accidentally rip that nutsert out and make it start to spin, because then you'd have some problems. Now we're at our center bracket. Again, we're going to tighten that down, 13mm. Now we're back at our first bracket. Again, using our 13mm to tighten our board to our bracket. And I'm just going to lift it up in place so that the top of my bracket is flush with my rocker panel. And I'm going to again use my 13mm to tighten down our nuts. Now on these, again, you don't want to go super tight. We don't want to rip these studs out of our rocker panel. Now we're back at our center bracket, again using our 13mm to tighten up our bracket to our truck. And again, at our rear bracket, we're going to tighten down our 3 nuts using our 13mm. Then you're going to repeat all those steps on the opposite side. Alright guys, that completes the installation. If you have any questions, give us a call or visit us online.